As a portfolio manager, something that interests me is that the Grayscale and Bitwise products both hold Maker. And Maker was the former governance token for MakerDAO, but it actually rebranded to an asset called Sky Protocol. And this was announced a little over a year ago now. The actual rebranding didn't take place until this year, but I think it's important that we look at a timeline of what happened with Maker as an asset that's held in these DeFi index products. And we can see that the very first announcement that we saw of this rebranding took place about a year ago, August of 24. And then later that year, towards the end of the year, the co-founder of Maker confirmed that the migration was going to be taking place and that there was going to be a conversion so that holders of Maker could replace their asset with Sky at a 1 to 24,000 Sky token conversion. In May, that became official. The Sky token became the official governance token for the Sky protocol, effectively saying there are no governance rights associated with this token. And at this point, more forcefully incentivizing the migration from the Maker token to the Sky token. This is the point where Trivius removed Maker from our portfolios because we didn't see an economically valid reason to continue holding Maker, considering that the protocol is outright migrating the asset from one to another, from Maker to Sky. And what happened subsequently is we can see this reflected in prices, where Maker was one of the assets we saw that really didn't experience some of the substantial gains that the rest of the DeFi sector experienced. That could be for several reasons, but one of the larger one is from our point of view, because Maker is being sunset, it no longer has an intentional, valid economic use case going forward now that the Sky token is replacing it. So we saw some actually huge gains in some of the larger cap DeFi assets, Uniswap, Aave, LidoDAO, but Maker unfortunately missed out on those gains. In September of this year, the month that we're currently in, exchanges are going to be delisting Maker as a tradable token and listing Sky as a tradable token. Now, there are reasons that indexes may still be holding Maker. One of them is they may still be meeting the market cap and liquidity thresholds that the criteria of those indexes require. And so they say, hey, we're not going to kick this out until we reconstitute at our scheduled time in the future. One of the risks that this poses, however, is a potential rush for the exit or liquidity crunch where people want to get rid of their Maker token and those index products are still holding it. So we'll see how that fares over the coming month and whether that has any performance bearing on these non-Truvius products.